In this series of videos, we are going to walk you through the installation of our new audio systems for the Polaris General side-by-side vehicle. So without further ado, let's head on inside and see how it's all done. Alright guys, I am now joined by Brad with our new product development team, and he is going to help walk us through the installation process of our rear moto system for the Polaris General side-by-side vehicle. Now this vehicle came to us with a Stage 2 already installed, so we're going to walk you through how to make those connections. So Brad, what all comes in the kit?
So in our rear moto kit, we include a set of our RM1 mini cans, our vehicle-specific clamps, as well as the wiring and everything you need to install it.
Okay. And what's the first thing we need to do to go ahead and get started with the install?
Well, the first thing we do is remove the hood and top of the dash to gain access to our PMX switch unit.
All right, well, let's see how that's done. All right, now that we have the hood removed, we're going to go ahead and remove the top of the dash. Now the dash itself is held in place with a number of plastic rivets that need to be removed. So to do that, we're going to use a special tool designed for removing those plastic rivets, but of course you may not have this in your toolbox. So a small flat blade screwdriver will also suffice. Just be careful because you don't want to scratch up or mar the plastic when using this. Alright guys, so the next step is we're going to continue the disassembly process by removing the seats and various interior panels. This will facilitate a pathway to run the wiring through the vehicle, to be able to run the wires from the rear all the way to the front dash area. We're also going to go ahead and take off the front doors of the vehicle to better be able to see things from a video purpose. Now obviously in your installation you're not going to have to do this. We're just doing it so you can see things a little more clear. Alright guys, so now at this point we're ready to go ahead and start prepping our speaker cans and clamp assemblies to install into the vehicle. So one thing to note, our clamp assemblies when they are shipped are pre-assembled. But they are pre-assembled with the mounting flange for the speaker can to the outside based on the orientation of how the clamp will mount on the roll cage. Now while this is okay, you can certainly disassemble the clamp and actually spin this around to the inside so the can's on the inside of the roll cage, as Brad is going to kind of show you here.
Once you pull it apart, you'll notice inside there's actually tabs to help lock the post in place. Slide it out, turn it around, and reassemble. One thing to note is there is a hole on the post for the wire to come out. Now you're always going to want that facing forward towards the cage. Once you have your wire forward, we actually include a zip tie that'll slide into the hole and allow you to clamp that down tight. So depending on which way you want to mount your can, just flip the post accordingly to what you need.
Now once you determine that, to install this onto the roll cage assembly, it is a two-piece assembly, so you will have to actually have it separated to then bolt it back together once we put it in. Now of course, once the clamp assembly is mounted onto the roll cage assembly, the next thing to do is install the speaker wire itself into the clamps. So, as Brad said, we have the whole assembly at the front of that post. We're going to take the white plug and pass it through and pull a length of cable out the other side. At which point, you will then take the white plug, pass it through the center of the post, at which point you will then connect it to your speaker can assembly using the 2-pin Molex connector inside the mounting flange area. Once it's connected, you'll feed the cable back through, aligning the speaker can onto the mounting post and locking it in place with the security Torx bolt. Once that's done, you can then pull the excess slack back through, finally positioning it and securing it in place with the zip tie Brad mentioned before.
Once you have all that done, we've included these badges to conceal the wiring once you're all assembled.
From that point, you're simply going to route the wire down the back of the chassis of the vehicle, up through the frame assembly, and forward into the front part.
While Rico finishes up on his side of the vehicle, I'm going to show you a quick little tip on the rear cans. They come shipped with a speaker in this orientation. Now obviously we're going to put it on its side and we want it to look a little better. So what you can do is remove the 4 screws, rotate, and reinsert the screws and tighten them down. This way it looks a little better. Now the other thing we've done is made adjustable badges. It will come standard with a badge that'll look normal in this position. Now we include a badge that allows you to have it any way you want. So as you spin it, you'll be able to put the badge according to the way you have it mounted. When you do the wiring, on the right side of the vehicle we have a label on this end that says right. On this end, what we've done is put a red dot. That way you know when you get to the back, you'll know which side is the right side.
Alright, so now with the wire ran, we're ready to go ahead and make the final connections at the radio harness. So what you're going to do is you're going to locate the left and the right rear wire harness that we just ran, locate the rear left and right output plug from the radio harness, connect the two together. Once we have those connected, we'll be able to turn the system on, test everything, ensure that it's working properly, and once we verify that, we're ready to go ahead, reassemble the vehicle, and get it back out on the road. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps it up for this install. So as you can see, it was pretty easy and straightforward to do. So Brad, is there anything you'd like to add before we cut out of here?
Well, as always, if you have any questions before, during, or after the install, give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you out.
And as always, make sure you check out our website for more information on all the products we manufacture. And of course, check out the YouTube channel for more installation videos. Well, that wraps it up for us on this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again in another video.